Shenise Johnson, Kay's going to open up with a statement, and then you guys can fire away, ask questions.
I know you won't be surprised to hear this, but you know, we need to perform better than that. We're really happy with that win, but 36% is not going to win the basketball games that we need to win in the next 6 weeks here to do what we want to do. And I thought that it was very evident in the first half. We only had 3 offensive rebounds, and we weren't shooting a good percentage. There were a lot of offensive rebounds to have, but we weren't in our rhythm. And credit Wake Forest for trying to disrupt us some, but also just we've been playing such a high level, and we've playing so great, and our timing, and we've been clicking in. This was a game where I think we were just a little off and weren't as together as we needed to be, and yet we still came out with a 28-point victory. But we're still pushing, we're still grinding, and we still expect to play better than we played tonight. I think I'm very blessed with some very talented players in Stroman and Bay and Mo can get hot. I think Stroman, I don't know how many games in a row that is, double figures, but that makes us a very, very tough team to defend. And that was a big part of the basketball game today. But to embody the story of our team and to celebrate what we were celebrating in the locker room, it's Stephanie Gardner. Without question, that's the thing we're most happy about, is that, with Crystal Saunders getting injured and Steph hadn't been playing a lot, and but she's a popular kid, and she's well liked by the team, and it was just great because she's getting her minutes because she's doing little things like taking a charge and then just knocking down a wide open 3, and I think that adds another dimension. But we're just so excited for her because she persevered through a tough time when she wasn't getting any playing time, and we needed her, and she came through.
Coach, how well is Shenise playing on not only the 19 points but 5 steals? How well is she playing?
Oh my gosh, she's on her game. I mean, and it's something that is very special. And when she's on her game, we definitely try to call a little bit more for her, get her some more off the ball setups. And but I think that tonight it was her steals. You saw it, the 5 steals that were strips and really impressive with a ton of energy there. And when we get a steal and we can get it in the open court, it's tough to answer us.
Who votes for the ACC Player of the Year? Is that media or coach?
So a blue ribbon panel.
Are you concerned at all that maybe Raquana and Shenise are going to, split votes in some people's?
I'm not concerned about that at all. We've never cared what anyone's opinion of us was. We don't care we're happy to be ranked. We'd be thrilled if one of those kids gets ACC Player of the Year. But I promise you, we are so focused on what Miami needs. And I think what Mo embodies is she was in foul trouble at North Carolina. But we can do a stat to tell you the time that someone was on the court, was Miami winning or losing, okay? She came out of that game at 43% efficiency, and while she was on the court, Miami was up 23 on North Carolina. An away game, a team that was ranked in the top 15, and most minutes, we were up 23 when she played. At the end of the game, the time that Shenise Johnson was on the court, Miami was beating Carolina by 23. That's it. We don't care. That's what makes her special, because it probably was her defense and her rebounding, whatever else. It's not just her scoring, but I can tell you that stat's pretty impressive, and that's what we care about.
Was the loss to Wake Forest last year in the ACC tournament on the team's mind today, Coach?
Oh yeah, it was on mine. It was on theirs. We feel like we lost at Wake, and then we lost in the ACC tournament, and we definitely want something to be hungry about, and we want something to be fighting for, and that was an easy one. It didn't take a big rah-rah by me. They brought that attitude into film on day 1 of prep.
Shenise, you got FSU next. How bad do you want them after what happened last game?
More than Wake, no. FSU is definitely one of our rivals. We definitely want to beat them as well. They handed it to us pretty well. They kind of exposed some of our weaknesses earlier on in the year, but we've definitely progressed, and we're definitely looking forward to this game.
What were those weaknesses in your mind that they exposed?
Oh.
You don't have to give the floor space anymore. You don't have to answer that.
They did. They broke us apart very well. They took away me. They took away Bay. It kind of caused us to scatter a little bit. But, I mean, we're definitely a much stronger team now mentally, and I think that's what we needed. They challenged us, and we weren't ready for that in the beginning, I thought. But we're a lot better now.
Shenise, you said you were a stronger team mentally. Was there a specific game where you saw that mental toughness really increase during this run that you guys have had?
I would say after the Duke game.
Mm-hmm.
I would say after the Duke game, it was like, really, y'all? Like, we're that bad? No, we're not that bad. We're that much better. And I think we kind of just clicked and we're just like, no, we're not having that no more. I think that's
the
what
practice after the Duke.
The practice after the Duke game was just so intense. Yeah, definitely. After Duke.
Coach, what talking about things clicking since last year when you didn't make the NCAA tournament, got bounced in the first round of the ACC, and then you got hot in the NIT, and up to now, what clicked since then, do you think, starting from the NIT forward?
Well, you know, we don't have any seniors, and we don't build in excuses and talk about it much, but we have a ton of experience, and the 5 starters have played significant minutes together in very competitive situations, and they've lost close games together, and they've won close games together. They've jumped on people, they've given up, like everything that can happen in a basketball game, those 5 young ladies have gone through already. So, you know, I end to get a lot of games with a lot of timeouts in my pocket because I'm not required to inform them of the situation. They're very aware of the situations. They were very aware when Wake Forest hit a 3 and cut it to 12. They're very aware, okay, amp up the D, like they know the response. So that's it. I mean, the extra 6 games there, you know, it's nice to win in March. And we needed to prove that to ourselves. And we won a lot of games in March last year. And that carried over. What do you think, Stroman?
Morgan, you've been going up against much bigger opponents all year, and this is your 10th double tonight. How has your game progressed throughout the year?
Yeah, strong.
Just being more focused and being more composed, not being the loose goose that I used to be. Not, just going in there and battling. I mean, I'm a lot smaller, so I try to use my quickness against people. So just fighting for the rebounds, I guess.
Coach, I know this may be a little bit off topic, but can you talk about what the marketing team has done here at the Bank United Center in addition to winning, but like Peggy with the Cupid Shuffle and
Right.
events like that?
Well, I think that we like to have the fans engaged in the game, and I think Peggy, you know, she came in and when we met the first time, I said, you have all the access you want. I have a special team. They're fun to be around. Get the fans on the court, get the fans in the locker room, get the fans, and it's resonated. I think starting from the fantasy camp, all through the interaction throughout the game and autographs. And I was looking for my juniors today to celebrate with them in the locker room, and they were signing autographs right after the game. So I think Peggy's done a fantastic job, and I think marketing this team is fun to do as well. I mean, the product on the court's pretty, you know, we're giving them a good product that's very interactive, and you can really cheer for these kids and get your energy up when you watch them play.
Shenise, you guys have a chance still to win the ACC regular season title. Is that a goal for you?
Yeah, of course, it's a goal. But we just taking it one game at a time, literally, honestly, one game at a time, one scout at a time. But hell yeah.
All right. Thanks.